Welcome on in, everybody. Today we are doing another A-Rank guide. We were able to pull Eishin Flash. We got really lucky, scouting her right after we scouted Silent Suzuka. So today we're going to be going through her career for a A-Rank. She's got a 20% bonus to Wit and a 10% bonus to Strength. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a different build here today than we've normally done. For our legacy cards, we are going to be using a guest here. I'm going to be choosing a 42-21 power speed split. I have an air groove here. And then I'm also going to be using a 42-12 split of one of my own Umas. Let's see here. We have a Tokai Teo right here. We use her, nope, not that one. This one. We use her all the time, as you've probably noticed, because I really like the power speed splits. Now, keep in mind, she does have a power and wit, so our support cards are going to be a 3 speed. Pick it. Let's do... I think we can go with... Did we already choose? No, we have not. Our Sakura Bakashin, who is going to be on here somewhere. She's probably on screen right now, and I'm being an idiot. Oh, there she is. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to be using our Silent Suzuka. We're going to be using just one wit card, as well as 2 stamina cards. And for our second stamina card, we're going to be using our Mejuro McQueen here. So the reason for that is we have no stat bonuses to speed or stamina, and she does have some long races, so we want to make sure that our stamina keeps up. We're going to be maxing out speed. We got a good bonus to wit, so we don't need multiple wit cards, and this should get us some pretty solid stats. Let's go ahead and get this career started. And we'll put the skip all the way forward, and let's get through this one. So, just like any Uma, we are going to be starting off our career by making sure we are leveling up our support cards. If we can get these support cards stacked up by chance on speed or stamina, that's even better for us. So, excellent. We got a 2-2. Speed, stamina. We'll choose the one with the potential skill hint. The reason we would like them to be on speed and stamina is due to the fact that they do not have any stat bonuses. So the quicker we can get the levels up for these, the quicker we're going to be able to get our extra stat increase throughout this career. Now we can do a training here, but it is a 22% failure. This is going to be a good time to get our mood up. And we got a little bit of energy with that mood up. We got a double speed stack on stamina. We'll take that. If we got a double stack on power or double stack on wit, we will be prioritizing the double stack on stamina or speed. Double on wit will go there just because we have such low energy. That's going to be the one case that we end up choosing wit over anything else. If we can get some energy back because we are really low on it, we'll go for that. We got a 4-card stack with the director on speed. And we haven't even gotten to our debut yet. We have multiple cards in the green already. So our friendships are going up pretty decently. Nothing great on wit, so let's take a rest since our energy is so low. Plus 10 bonus to speed, sounds good to me. And we'll do the speed training here. Speed is most important. Naturally, we want to get our stamina up enough to complete all of the races. However, we do want to still get speed as high as we can. If you take a look at her career, she's got the Japanese Derby and the Arima Kinen and the Spring Tenno show. No Kikuka show, so none of that 3,000 meter race, but we do still have to worry about the 3,200 in our late game career here. We got a 3 stack on stamina, we'll take that. Mejuro McQueen's friendships bonus is going up pretty steadily. We got a double stack. We'll go for stamina on this one. And we do want to make sure we don't overtrain stamina. Just for the sake of this, we'd like to get her stamina up to about a 400. And then we can also purchase Swinging Maestro in order to make it through the Tenno Show Spring. However, we don't want to train it too much, whereas we're taking points away from our other stats, such as speed. Excellent, we got first place in our junior debut. We did make her a front runner just for that race. Other than that, we will be moving her back to a late surger. We don't really want to do guts, but we do have a double speed stack on that. So let's go ahead, we'll take that one guts training, and then we'll go in for a good rest here. With any luck, we'll recover 70 energy. And 50, that's okay by me. Then we got the double on speed with the reporter. That's going to give us a +2 stat bonus. And now we have some not very fantastic options, so we're going to go with Wit here. That's going to get our Bakashin up to the green, and our Die with Scarlet is already almost up to Rainbow Training. And keep in mind, throughout this career, you're going to want to be choosing every dialogue option that sounds as if it's going to give you some energy back. In some of the events, usually the ones that involve, or really only the ones that involve eating, you are at risk of getting the slow metabolism debuff. However, that is very rare. It does happen. I mean, I don't know the actual statistics for it, to be completely honest, but if I had to guess, it's around like a 20-30%. So it's definitely worth it. The extra turn you get out of it, especially if you're struggling with the character, is going to be extremely beneficial to your career run. Now, our Kitasan Black and our Sakura Bakashin can officially do Rainbow Training, and we'll do this Rainbow Training right here and get our Silent Suzuka exactly where we want her. And our Metromo McQueen is getting up there as well. Now, we do like the double stacks, however, our energy is too low and we are not risking getting a debuff this early in the career. So it is time to take a rest, get some of that energy back. Since we have Kitasan Black, we were fortunate enough to get our Professor of Curvature there. Professor, I can't speak. We'll do the Sakura Bakashin here. Our Super Creek is falling a little bit behind there. I always want to say special week. It throws me off every damn time. So, we're working on speed still, trying to get that level up as early as possible. Most of our support cards are where we need them as far as friendship bonuses go. We got another double speed stack. Unfortunately, we did not have the energy to risk it there. So we're going to go for Flying a Kite on this one to get a stat increase. You can eat New Year's food here if you have low energy. It will increase it by 30, but we want the stat bonus of the speed there. For the Nakayama, it is just a G3, so we shouldn't really struggle that much. We're going to switch ourselves back to a late surger, and this should be a no problem for us. And we won by 8 whole lengths. Look at that. So that is our second objective done for this career. Our stats are looking solid, and we have 5 turns until the Satsuki show. Now we got a double stack on speed. We'll always lovingly take those. Get that 36 stat bonus there. And we're pretty close to getting speed up to a level 4. We'll take another double speed stack. Maybe one of these days I'll get a sentence out correctly. Another double speed stack. And I believe that should push us up to level 4. Yes, speed level 4. There we go. You know, it's funny. I have done so much Uma training, and even now, I couldn't tell you exactly how I know the level's going to go up. At this point, it's just kind of intuition. I'm sure there's a way to actually tell. I haven't figured it out yet. But here we're going to go with a wit. Let's cap off, get some good wit training in there, cap off our energy as much as we can before going into this race. And then our inspiration is going to come in and give us a big speed and power boost. And there we go. Solid 64 power, 17 speed. Could have been better, but definitely not a bad scout there. Or legacy pull there. All right, view. That's another first place. Looking good. 3.5 lengths over Measure Orion. And we get +3 for that race in all stats. It's not a lot, but, you know, we like to get it regardless. +5 power. Now we're a little low on our stamina, so let's go ahead. We'll do a power training. Increase our Super Creek friendship here. And then we will do a Measure McQueen stamina training there as well. We're not really going to be using inside scoop, but it's always good to have the additional increases there. So before going into the Japanese Derby, since our stamina is a little lower than we'd like it to be, we are going to buy corner recovery. This should be more than enough to get us through this race. Ultimately, we are hoping it evolves into Swinging Maestro, and as you've probably been able to tell by now, every single champions meeting requires Swinging Maestro or some very, very good stamina increasing skill. So we did come in third. That's fine. Remember, we're going for the A here. This isn't the ultimate PvP guide just yet. We will be releasing that eventually. But when it comes to the A rank guides, the most important goal is completing the goal. And that does not always include winning first place. And sometimes you have to spread out the skills depending on where your support cards land, and you don't have a whole lot of, power over that. So we'll choose the second option with Dive Scarlet there, get a little bit of that back, and we'll go 1 wit going into beach training here, which is going to be another good time to do both stamina and wit training. If we don't get any good ones, we'll do stamina here with Super Creep. We'll do a wit training here. We're looking for a double stack or higher on speed. If we don't get it, we will just kind of bounce back and forth between wit and stamina. Both stamina cards on wit, so that's a good time to get those up. We'll take that. Building strength will give us plus 10 power here. We'll do another stamina training. And that will be the end of our beach training. Didn't really get anything phenomenal there, but that's okay. You don't always get exactly what you're looking for. So let's do our speed training, and then we're going to take a nice rest after that. We'll get our training guide to get practice perfect. Oh, I wish I didn't click on that because that just made me sad we didn't have any energy. But we are going to rest. We'll decline there, and we'll take our 20 stamina here with a Kitasen Black skill hint. Extra tank, that's another good one to have. And we'll choose the top option there to get a bonus to speed. And we are still a little low on our speed, so let's go ahead, do a speed training here with Kitasen Black. Pretty close to a B in speed. And we're going to risk it because it's a 58 with a triple stack. I mean, those are just absolutely lovely, and we love to see those. And we were lucky enough to succeed. Remember, a 38%, you're still more likely to succeed than fail. Just how it is. So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to get extra tank because our number one skill that is lacking right now still is stamina. The Japan Cup is just a 2400 meter, so with extra tank and corner recovery, we should be able to get through this no problem. And there is our second place. Now our energy is critically low, so it's time for a good rest here before the Arima Keenan, which is a 2500. Work hard to achieve your dream, and let's get 25 back. Ooh. No, we're going to rest. We've been getting a lot of double stacks, so I think it's best that we get a little bit of that energy back. We have corner recovery. We have extra tank. Now is a good time to buy Professor of Curvature. It is 10% off, and that's a phenomenal skill alongside Swinging Maestro. We should be able to place within the Arima Keenan here without much of an issue. Maybe not getting first, but it looks like we did anyway. By 1 whole length over Zeno Rob Ruby, whoever that was. Never heard of them before. They could be an NPC, but that is a strangely elaborate name for a essentially unnamed character. So 5 turns before the Osaka High, and after that we do have the Tenno Show. So if we get some solid stamina training, solid rainbow stamina training, that's great. This is another quick time event, or not quick time event, but another event where choose lays around. If you have low energy, that will recover 30 energy. We're going to write down our wishes to get a bit of a stat bonus here since we have maxed energy anyway. And we're going to do a speed training here because that drains the most energy, and then we have the raffle coming up where we are more than likely to get some energy back, like we did with the carrot right there. We'll take the 25 in speed here. When you have max energy, you use less energy when you do your training. So that's why we went ahead and did the speed there, even though it wasn't a rainbow training. We do have a rainbow training stamina. That's a good time to get us over that 300 mark and on our way to 350 plus for the Tenno show. And now we got one other turn here. We're going to go ahead and that is a very hard one, but wit's going to come in handy. So we're going to do a wit training here, and we'll get one solid turn in for the Osaka High with another rainbow training with Mejuro McQueen. Now, we haven't gotten Swingy Maestro yet, unfortunately, but you know, it's the luck of the draw. You make do with what you do. So let's go ahead. We're going to purchase our second skill here of Go with the Flow. That's a very good skill for late racers, helps you navigate and works alongside the power skill very well as it helps you pass other characters, and having high power and Go with the Flow will ultimately assist you late race. Next up is the Tenno Show Spring, the dreaded Tenno Show Spring, the career killer, and we got one turn for it. But this is where our inspiration is going to give us a big speed and power boost. Excellent. There we go. 88 into power and 23 into speed. Very good stat distribution there. And we got our second bonus there. We're pretty low on energy, unfortunately, but I don't want to waste a turn before the Tenno show. So this is a good time to do a wit training, get some of those points up, have a rest, and I don't believe we have the monies to buy any skill. So let's go ahead, watch this one, see how the Tenno show plays out with our current skills and stats. We are naturally very low on our energy. We may need to change our strategy to a end closer if we do struggle at this point. Normally, we would have liked a little bit closer to a 400 in our stamina. You know, naturally, if you're going to be using the character at all in any form of PvP, you're going to most likely want over 500 stamina anyways, depending on what races. If you're running in long distance races, you know, you're looking more 800-900 in stamina. But those are crazy races, and thankfully the Gemini Cup is over. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the second half of the race here. Starting to make our move. And here comes her ultimate. I love her ultimate. We'll go ahead and see how this helps us out. Schwarzschwert. We have any German viewers? Let me know how that pronunciation was. I'm assuming that was German. I actually don't know. As an only English speaker, I can't comment too much. And naturally, it's going to zoom out so we don't see ourselves. Ooh, did we come in 5th? Oh, that's a sad face. I think we hit 6. Oh, did we get 5th? But I think we got to hit top 3. So we're going to try again. We're going to throw ourselves into an end closer here. We'll view results. Same outcome, different go. We got our 3rd place there. Switching to an end closer and switching your strategy can sometimes help out at the Tenno show there. So if you do struggle at that point, I highly suggest trying that out. However, if you have, you know, closer to 400 stamina, you probably won't have had as much difficulty there as we did. Respecter a lot is going to give us a stamina boost. And now we're going to be leaning heavily into wit and speed training. We want to get this wit up as high as we can while making sure we're taking all of the good speed trainings that they have to offer us. There's a 26, we'll take it, and then we'll take a good rest. The Tenno Show Autumn is going to be a substantially less difficult race for us. Let's take a rest here. 50 back, that's good by me. We're going to do the speed training here. Hopefully we'll get a good wit training next, and then we can follow it up with another speed training. So rest for now, get some of that energy back. Going into our beach training here, we're going to lean into wit. Remember, we don't really need any more stamina. We got the longest race out of the way. Now, like I said, if you are doing PvP builds, this would be a very good time to really lean into the stamina training. You'd probably be solid with around a 400 in wit for PvP anyway. So, you know, instead of training the wit points up, make those points go into your stamina training. Another wit training here. And that is the beach training over. Again, nothing phenomenal there. We got a 23, 38. We'll take the 38 in wit. I love Die with Scarlet. I don't really have a huge amount of really maxed... Ooh, another triple stack. Love to see it. I don't have a huge amount of like phenomenal wit cards, but I have had such good fortune with Die with Scarlet. So we'll do another speed training here before the Tenno Show Autumn, and we should be sitting nice and pretty going into this race. Now, I will tell her to avenge us. Get another wit bonus there. We'll switch ourselves back to a late surger, and this is only a 2,000 meter race, so we really should not have any issues. And that is a first place by 2 whole lengths over Air Groove. That's what you get for screwing me in the Cancer Cup Air Groove. But anyways, that aside, we got 3 turns before the Urima Keenan. We'll get some carrots here, get some of our energy back. With the fresh air, nice skill to have. We'll do a wit training and hopefully get 2 solid speed trainings next. And I mean, it's not phenomenal, but it is a speed training. Let's go ahead, we'll take it. And there we go, we got a plus there, plus there. Let's go ahead. We'll actually do a wit training here. Give us enough energy so if we get a really good training after the Urima Keenan, we can take it. But if not, we can always rely on maybe a Rainbow Wit training or even another rest. Level 4 ultimate, great to have. Now we're going to go ahead, view this race. Again, it shouldn't really be struggling all that much. We got a first place by 2.5 lengths over Gold Chip. And excellent. All goals achieved, and we're moving on to the URA finals. Now, this is a good time to do another wit training. We'll get that close to a B here. You could have also rested there. I'm actually second thinking that one. I might have rested. Our wit was going to get up to a B with the 40 plus points we get from completing the URAs and the career anyway. So we probably didn't actually need to train wit any higher. So I would have rather rested there so I could have done 2 speed trainings back to back. So let's go ahead. Let's do another wit training here for the 27. Might as well allocate those points there to give ourselves enough energy in case we get some sort of phenomenal speed training next. We are a little low, but we should be all set for the A rank. Normally, I would like to see these stats a little bit higher just to be more comfortable with the career, but we didn't really get very many good stacks during the beach training, which is where a lot of stat growth comes from. And excellent. See, that's why we did the wit training. If we did the rest at the beginning of the URA finals, we would have been able to do this as well. But we did the wit training last turn because that gave us enough energy to do this one without failure. And that's 51 points into speed. We now have an S in speed, A in power, B in wit, and a C in stamina. The URA final should be an absolute breeze for us here. And this is, remember, just a potential level 1 Eishin Flash. We have not upgraded her at all. I know some of my guides, I have some pretty high-leveled Umas, so I wanted to do this career prior to leveling her up. That way it could at least be a little bit more relatable for anybody watching that maybe, you know, doesn't have the playtime that I do, or something along those lines, so they don't quite have that edge when increasing stats. So now it's time to distribute our remaining points. We have A in long, A in medium, A in late, and A in front, which are all going to increase our career points. So we can go front runner with a heavy discount, long with a discount, not a pace, right? Yeah, no. Front, long, medium. So let's go focus. Let's go, what else has really good discounts here? 20% off a Teo step. And then we have a 10% off of a front runner, which we also have an A in. So those will be our ultimate skills that we'll purchase at the end of this career, finish it through. It should be a rather low ranking A here. So there you have it. We got 1 star power spark to blue and some front runner sparks. Here is our ultimate, here is what our stats ultimately are. Again, like I said, I can't speak today. 1078 in speed, 446 in stamina, 855 in power, and a 679 in wit. And keep in mind, if you have ranked her up at all, or if you have better support cards than me, or even if you just get a little luckier during the beach training, you should have relatively comparable stats to this, or maybe even a little bit higher. So anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for following me, watching this video. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for all future content. We will be posting some extra videos outside of my schedule this week, including recaps of the ongoing Leo Cup that I'm really excited to edit and get out for you guys to watch. So yeah, thanks again and have a great day. Bye-bye.